My name is Amrou Al-Kadhi, or Glamrou. I personally like my art, whether it's my film or my drag shows, to be really kind of cathartic, and especially in Britain, where people are quite sort of repressed about their emotions. And, you know, I like just the extremity of drag and how intense I can get to emotionally. There's something about being in drag that allows me to just do and say whatever I'm thinking or feeling in quite a way that sometimes shocks me or shocks people who know me, because I'm not like that when I'm not in drag. But I think it offers a space for everyone to really just... I always say my drag shows should feel almost quite scary, in the sense that everyone really has to be awake and just access their feelings, but in an exciting way, I hope. I talk a lot about my mother in both my book and obviously my drag shows, really about my mother. I think it's important for me because I actually want to inhabit her perspective and her experience of having a drag queen for a child, even though she's had a really negative response and it's been a huge source of complication for us. I kind of think the point of art is to really inhabit other people's perspectives, and I really wanted to have the experience of justifying my mum's behavior and even inhabiting as a way to explore it myself. She once said to me that, you know, part of the reason that she hates drag is because she thinks I was really lucky to be born a man, and she's found being a woman really hard growing up, especially in Iraq. And so she was kind of expressing jealousy at the fact that I find freedom in drag, when for her, sort of being a mother and being a good wife felt like such a duty. So I really try to explore her perspective. I think art should genuinely be challenging. It's not just about seeing yourself, it's also about being confronted with something you might disagree with, but also understanding why someone might think that. Drag has helped me in many ways. I mean, you know, I think drag has so many different layers to the experience. Like, initially, when I was 19 and I started drag was very much just, you know, I was still at university, was very kind of nervous about my sexuality and my femininity, kind of had no confidence when it came to that. And there was something just about being in drag that was just about owning femininity and your sexuality, and just sort of kind of taking the things that you're scared of or ashamed of and trying to be proud of them. And, you know, drag's changed. You know, I've had a very difficult time with my Arab heritage and my faith and all of that. And definitely when I started drag, it was a way kind of to escape stuff about my heritage because of things that had happened to me growing up. But then, you know, later in my drag journey, I was able to, you know, look at Egyptian pop stars and dress like my mother, and a lot of the Muslim women who raised me, who are beautiful and powerful and incredible, and they're very liberal people, a lot of them, you know. I definitely shouldn't believe everything you read in the media about Muslims and Arabs. And actually through drag, I was able to access this whole side of my culture that I wasn't able to when I was growing up in the Middle East as a boy. Later drag, I was able to access that. And then drag is also great because it's all about fiction. I think people often say, you know, drag is all about being yourself, which is true, in terms of it's about expressing yourself, but it's also about lying sometimes and saying, this is who I am today. I mean, there's so much that I watched growing up that's helped me access sort of my queer identity. When I was 13, it was Queer as Folk by Russell T Davies, who I'm able to work with at the moment. He's my screenwriting mentor and is just an amazing man and has really changed my life. That really, I was 13 then, so that was really the first time I'd seen gay men be sexually empowered and sexy and confident. I watched a film, a Brazilian queer film called Body Electric by Marcello Caetano. It was the first time on screen that I'd seen drag queens and femmes be the protagonists. And not only that, but just have great sex, be really defiant. It was more the fact that they have sex lives, because often drag queens and femmes on screen tend to sort of be eunuchs. In a way, like, I don't particularly love the representational burden of like being a queer Arab and having to speak for queer Arabs, because there's so many of us, and there's like 1 billion Muslims and everyone has their own experience. For me, it's just about sharing something that's really from the gut and hoping that anybody can access something with it.